Good evening there. It is 9 p.m. East African time. Many thanks that you could choose Ebru TV to inform you on the 23rd of June 2022, barely 46 days before Kenyans head to the polls to choose the next leader. You're right in time for primetime news. My name is Winnie Maganga. My co-anchor tonight at the bottom end of your screen is Joyce Werimu. Welcome to the broadcast. Kenya Kwanza leaders held an education forum at Catholic University in Nairobi County, where the coalition met with stakeholders from the education sector to chart the way forward for the improvement of education in Kenya. Kenya Kwanza has promised it will ensure that all children have access to equitable, quality and free early childhood, primary and secondary education with 100% transition from each of these levels. Deputy President William Ruto also promised to have a candid conversation around CBC to find a way on how to improve the curriculum.
Stakeholders meeting held at the Catholic University in Nairobi was attended by Kenya Kwanza leaders, teachers and higher education representatives. Kenya Kwanza has promised to bridge the current teachers shortage of 116,000 within 2 years, allocate sufficient resources to facilitate the implementation of quality education and strengthen secondary day schools to deepen access to quality education. The leaders also promised to bring competency in the education sector.
Government under Section 26 should have a university in each of the counties. Right now, we have 31 public universities in Kenya, which means we have a number of counties that do not have universities. And here we are asking the Kenya Kwanza administration to look at how to make this right.
We all agree that our education should move in the direction of not just knowledge and exams. It should move in the direction of knowledge, skills, competencies, and value-based education.
And when we conduct education in the process of dialogue in this way, we will never go wrong. I wish to remind everybody that Kenya, for the last couple of years, has been #1 at the top in terms of global competitiveness in education, both in quality and access.
Kenya Kwanza promised to further double the current higher education loans board funding and make HELB loans interest-free. If the coalition rises to the presidency, has also promised to up research funding and incentives to private sector to subscribe to research, saying it is crucial for the Kenyan child's education.
We shall improve on the utilization of resources so that our children, who are the bedrock of what we want to achieve, whether industrialization or whatever, that they are properly educated at all times. This is absolutely critical.
Bottom-up is enabled by the kind of education that we have. Accessible, affordable, relevant, and the right quality of education. That 5 years down the road, it's time to review in accordance with UNESCO recommendations, the CBC program, so that the issues that have been identified by teachers, by parents, by students, and other stakeholders can be subjected to a robust public conversation.
The coalition also promised to expand the number of technical universities and establish the National Open University to boost access to reduce the cost of university education, besides introducing a paid internship program for the graduates. Education Cabinet Secretary George Magoha has applauded presidential frontrunners for their will to improve competency-based curriculum CBC, saying it means well for the Kenyan child.
In terms of the general preparedness for the competency-based curriculum, I am glad and I want to thank the political class, because it seems we are accepting that CBC is here to stay. And that is the way to go, because we produced our children with our own blood, isn't it? So there's no need for us to play with them like chess in a game of politics. So I'm saying this because I've now seen that it looks like all the big political players accept that CBC will be there. They will just tweak 1, 2, and 3. And this is important for our children and also important for the parents, not to be confused, because this is the way to go.
Kenya Kwanza leaders say they will ensure that all children have access to equitable, quality and free early childhood, primary and secondary education with a 100% transition from each of these levels. Kaindo Stefano, Ebru TV.
And moving on, with just 46 days to the next general election and political temperatures seem to be very high, Azimio la Umoja pitched their tent in northeastern region today with Azimio flag bearer Raila Odinga together with her running mate Martha Karua move voters in Marsabit County. Raila Odinga was accompanied by running mate Martha Karua together with others Azimio la Umoja Brigade. Odinga noted that education for all will be the key to end poverty in this nation.
Na wakimaliza masomo yao watapata ajira sawa sawa, kazi pale ambapo wanaweza kupata mshahara mzuri, kuinua hali yao ya kimaisha na kusaidia wazazi wao. Hapana kazi ya kusukuma wheelbarrow. Ati kazi ni kazi. Unataka kusukuma wheelbarrow? Mmekataa wheelbarrow? Ngapi mmekataa wheelbarrow? Nione kwa mkono. Mwambie jamaa wheelbarrow apeleke kule Sugoi. Sawa sawa? Sawa sawa? Wale ambao wanataka kuanzisha biashara yao.
The fight to end corruption in the country, matters insecurity especially in the northern eastern, has been a hard nut to crack. Improvement of county services, especially the health sector, is one of the major promises that Azimio la Umoja made to the pastoralist community.
Tumesema tutahakikisha kwamba wafugaji wetu wako na maji na vile chakula ya mfugo hata kama wakati ya ukame. Sawa? Na tutaleta bima ya mfugo, livestock insurance, ili kama ng'ombe yako inakufa wewe unapata pesa. Unaona vizuri? Hiyo itasaidia wale wafugaji.
On her side, Martha Karua emphasized on the importance of one's political choice, pointing out that during this electioneering period, Kenyans should maintain peace at all cost, something that was echoed by Wiper Party leader Kalonzo Musyoka.
Sisi tunaomba bila amani hakuna maendeleo, na lazima kila mmoja wetu aweke amani. Kura ni siri, nyinyi ndio mtajua ni nani mtapatia kwa kila kiti hapa Marsabit. Lakini kura ya president ni ya baba na mama. Ni ya baba na asanti sana, lakini ya mwisho tuige amani na tuombe kura hata za MP na za gavana kwa njia ya amani na sio ya furugu.
Siasa ya kutupa mawe ni mbaya, na wasihi ili mjue kwamba sisi baba akichukua usukani hamtapigana na mawe tena, hamtachapana tena, hamtaoana tena.
Azimio la Umoja coalition are in the forefront to win hearts of the people of Northeastern, where it comprises of Garissa, Wajir, Mandera and Marsabit, a region with almost 2 million registered voters.
Kwa ufisadi, tumetangaza vita dhidi ya ufisadi. Wale wafisadi ambao wanaiba mali ya umma, tutawashika yote na kuwaweka hao ndani. Sawa? Hello? Kwa upande wa umaskini, tutataka kupigana na umaskini. Hapa kwenu Marsabit, hapa Marsabit, taanza kwanza na mambo ya usalama. Usalama ni muhimu sana. Usalama ni muhimu sana, sawa? Sawa sawa?
Kumbukeni shida hizi. Mimi mwenyewe nilikuja kubeba maiti. Sikilizeni, nilibeba maiti ya ndugu Dr. Godana ambao walianguka hapa msituni wakija kutafuta amani ya watu wa Marsabit. Mimi kutoka leo natangaza amani kwa watu wa Marsabit.
Northeastern seems not to have a political stand in this year's general election after they supported Jubilee Party in 2017.
Ya pili ileta katiba mpya, ikaleta ugatuzi. Ya tatu ni ya mwisho ni ya kiuchumi, ya vijana na kina mama. Vijana mko tayari? Vijana mko tayari?
And moving on, the IBC now says the fate of impeached Nairobi Governor Mike Mbuvi Sonko to vie in the Mombasa top seat is in the hands of the judiciary. IBC Vice Chair Juliana Cherera said this will follow the rule of law and that they will follow the court of order.
Maisha sisi IBC huwa tunafuata sheria, hatutafungua mlango. Lakini si kama mtu ameenda high court, tategemea na ile ruling ambayo itakuja kutoka huko, na tutafata kile ambacho high court watakuwa wamesema. Mwaka huu hakuna hiyo story za rigging kwa sababu tumefanya ballot papers kulingana na zile tarakimu katika polling station. Kama polling station ina watu 600, basi ballot papers ni 600. Kwa hivyo hakuna vile tutakuwa na rigging pale. Kubaliki kurarua billboard za wenyewe, lazima tuwe na tolerance, tuwe na kustahimili different views za watu. Tutakana kuwe na usawa, vyombo vya habari wapatie wagombea viti nafasi sawa, sio mnakaribisha mtu fulani tu wengine amwakaribishe. Tukisema tunalinda kura, inamaanisha wale ambao tumeweka pale kama macho yetu hatuwaamini. Lazima pia sisi jamaa wa mtaa tu hapo tulinde kura zetu. Hapana, tusifanye hivyo.
Viongozi kutoka juu, kutoka pale juu ya chama, lazima waongelelee wakisema ni vibaya kuwa na intolerance. They must condemn violence na condemn incitement kutoka juu. Tukianza juu kuteremka chini, kiongozi wa chama kutoka juu kama ni party leader aamue aseme yeye hakubaliani na watu ambao wanafanya incitement au wanararua posters za wenyewe. Hiyo itaenda chini mpaka kwa mwanachama na candidate ambaye yako chini kabisa.
And aside from politics, a security agency in Embu West Sub-County on Wednesday seized a haul of assorted illegal alcoholic drinks at a residential home in Gatongo village of Itabua sub-location. At the same time, 2 young women and a man were arrested in connection with a consignment after they were found cleaning bottles in the readiness for packaging. Some of the goods netted, according to Area Deputy County Commissioner Mercy Gatobo, include 13 crates of assorted liquor, 28 empty crates, 22 jerrycans filled with liquor suspected to be ethanol, a carton of bottle tops, and 2 rolls of counterfeit duty stamps. A counter track and a saloon car believed to be used to transport the liquor to the market were towed away by the police.
We would also send a word of warning to all those people that we know what they are doing, and in most cases we will just catch up with them and take the necessary action, that's taking them through the court process so that they face prosecution for what they did. Because majorly, you will find that most of these illicit drinks, I mean these second-hand generation drinks, are they are the ones which are maybe maiming people and killing people. So we are putting them on alert that we are not on them, and we are going to take what we call police action.
We came here and managed to come into a building that you can see behind us. And actually we found the brewing taking place. I mean the bottling. We have 3 people whom we have arrested who are busy washing the bottles, ready for bottling. And after searching, these are the things that we found in the house. 13 crates of assorted alcoholic drinks, each with 25 bottles of 500 ml. Plus 8 bottles, 2 rows of counterfeit exercise duty stamps, assorted bottle tops in a carton box, 1 clear hose pipe, 5 empty drums, 22 black jerry cans of 20 liters, each with filled clear liquid, 78 beer crates, each with 25 empty bottles. In the compound also we found motor vehicles, 2 motor vehicles, that is KCD, 666D, a Toyota Fiunda, black in color, and also a lorry, Mitsubishi Canter, registration KBA 909M. We also got 11 20 liters jerry cans which were empty, and a hand capping machine without serial number, orange in color.
Elsewhere, the rising cases of suicide in the country has been linked to the increase in mental health among Kenyans. Hence, the government has declared suicide a national disaster. According to the Ministry of Health, 1 in every Kenyan suffer from the mental health, translating to 25% of the population.
The focal person of mental health in the Ministry of Health, Nasri Omar, who was the chief guest during the launch of the Kilifi County Coast Mental Health and Disability Action Plan of 2022 to 2026, said that mental health conditions in Kenya cost the Kenyan economy 62.2 billion shillings, which is equivalent to 0.6% of our gross domestic product in 2020.
Watu wengi wako na magonjwa za kiakili, sana sana wanakuja kwa hospitali zetu lakini hatuwatambui. Sasa hapo ndo tunafanya kazi, sisi tunajaribu pia kutrain healthcare workers waweze kutambua hao wagonjwa na pia kuwasaidia kabla wakuwe severe cases. And the other thing ni pia suicide, pia mambo ya suicide pia imeenda juu. Mental health conditions, they cost the Kenyan economy 62.2 billion Kenya shillings, which is equivalent to 0.6% of our GDP in 2020. And also the investment case will show that investing in mental health will give us productivity gains worth Kenya shillings 161.6 billion shillings over a 10-year period. There are conditions which have very high return on investments. These are epilepsy, depression, and anxiety. And all this is going to enable the country to get the huge economic benefits due to having a mentally healthy population.
The Kilifi County Government project will require a budget of not less than 500 million shillings to implement the program. The County Executive Committee member for Health, Charles Dadu, said the county has 4 mental health care centers in Kilifi, Mariakani, Malindi and Mtwapa towns, which receive an accumulative 1,200 mental health cases every month, of most of whom are admitted.
Ni mpango ambao kwa upande wa rasilimali za kikazi tutahitaji pesa zisizopungua milioni 500 shilingi za Kenya katika vile vitengo mbalimbali ambavyo nimevitaja hapa, na hii nimesema isiyopungua. Kwa hivyo ile thamani halisi inaweza kuwa zaidi, lakini kwa sasa tunajua kama tunaweza kupata fedha kama hizo, tutaweza kuzindua pakubwa ule utekelezaji wa huu mpango. Kwa sasa tuko na vituo kama 4 ndani ya Kilifi County ambavyo vinatoa huduma za afya ya akili. Kituo cha Kilifi, kituo cha Malindi, kituo cha Mariakani, na vile vile sasa tumeanzisha pale Mtwapa, na tunangojea pia tuone tutaboresha vipi. Kusema ukweli, katika wale wateja ambao tumekutana nao wako aina mbili. Kuna wale ambao huwa wanakuja kwa zile huduma za kuja kwa siku na kurudi nyumbani, lakini kuna wale wateja ambao pia wamelazwa katika wodi zetu.
The Kilifi County Program Manager at the Department of Gender said that many people are victims of mental health, but women suffer the most, and ironically, men die the most.
Mental health ina affect wanawake sana, and that is why unapata mambo ya gender-based violence inaathiri sana wanawake, kwa sababu hao ndio wanakuwa on the receiving end. Kama mwanaume ako unstable mentally, mwanamke ambaye karibu naye kama bibi yake ama mtoto wa kike, anakuwa rahisi kuathirika, kwa maana atakuwa ni exit ya haraka ya kufanya physical violence. kama mwanaume ako na emotional violence ama ako na msongo wa mawazo mengi, kwa vile hawawezi kuongea, mara mingi unapata anataka kuongea kwa vitendo, na vitendo hivi vinakuwa kama ni vita, anajaribu kujitetea kwa vita. So sisi kama ninio tunajaribu, tumepata statistics kutoka kwa health, na hiyo ndio sababu moja pia tulikaa tukatengeneza hii action plan, kwa sababu hatukukuwa na statistics zetu hasa za kujua hapa Kilifi. Ndio kwa maana tumeingiza research ndani ndio itupatie data ya kutosha Kilifi saa hizi kuko vipi. Tunataka very updated data.
The officers say they are engaging the community and stakeholders to see how mental health challenges can be controlled in the county. Kaindo Stefano, Ebru TV.
Elsewhere, Miraa farmers are a happy lot after the taxes that engulfed the registration of Miraa business and transportation of Miraa out of the country was scrapped. Agriculture Cabinet Secretary Peter Munya said this will help Miraa farmers make profit from the crop that has been their livelihood for ages.
In what many political pundits may see as a way of finding inroads for Azimio la Umoja campaigns in the Upper Eastern, the latest promises and frequent visits by Azimio la Umoja leadership and supporters in the region is being questioned as to why this never happened sometimes back in the past years. All in all, the campaign's gimmicks are working for the farmers in the Upper Eastern, who are the beneficiaries of the ongoing wooing as the Miraa crop finds new market and tax-free transportation.
Nimesema kama waziri wa kilimo na nikisatazama shinda zile siko kwa sekta ya Miraa, ufukara ule umekuja eneo hili kwa sababu ya shinda mingi. Nimesema hakuna malipo yoyote itawekwa na serikali ya taifa kwa wale wanataka kuuza Miraa. Wale wanataka kuuza hapa Kenya na hata wale wanataka kuuza nje ya Kenya. Lakini mnajua hapa Kenya, kuuza hapa Kenya, hiyo ni kazi ya county. Kwa hivyo tunauliza serikali ya county ya Meru na zile county zingine ambazo Miraa huuzwa pia wafanye hivyo, ndio tusaidie wakulima wa Miraa. Wawache na mambo ya maneno matupu.
Munya has directed the county government within Upper Eastern, where Miraa is grown and sold, to ensure there is no collection of levies, saying he is ready to meet them in court.
Na mkono mtupu au lambwi. Kwa hivyo sione wakichukua measures ya kusaidia. Kama ni ile soko ya hapa ya Miraa, one drop hizo pesa wana collect hapo. Soko ya Kiengo one drop, soko ya maili 3 one drop. Hizo soko zote ile mnalipishwa pesa mingi. Watoe hiyo kwa muda mpaka hii sekta ifanye nini? Inuke. Sisi at the national level tumesema tumetoa. Nimeamrisha mawafanyikazi wangu, hakuna malipo yeyote. Ukienda kutafuta license utapatiwa uende kazi yako. Lakini kama kuna yule anataka tuende tukutane kotini si ya mama yake ama baba yake, tutakutana huko.
He also said he will be meeting KTDA officials very soon in order to discuss the way forward over bonuses for tea farmers.
Wameanza kuingiza siasa kwa chai. Wamejua mbona zinakuja nzuri. Sasa wanataka kuimwagia maji. They want to muddle the waters before you start getting your bonus. Hatuja announce bonus yeyote mpaka sasa. Yule ana announce anasema mambo ni yake anasema. Sio yetu. Jumatatu ndio nitakutana na wakubwa wa KTDA, tutasame vitabu tuweze kusema kirasmi bonus itakuwa gani.
Munya's move to bring changes in the Miraa sector is being applauded by Miraa farmers who use Miraa as a source of income. Kaindo Stefano, Ebru TV.
And from that story by Kaindo Stefano takes us to a fast commercial break. We'll be right back. Don't go too far. Welcome back. Many thanks for staying with us. The IBC has officially gazetted the 2022 voter register, which has over 22 million voters. This translates to a number of up-to-grabs, with aspirants putting their best foot forward in a bid to boost their vote baskets.
The numbers game is now on, with the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission officially gazetting the official 2022 voter register with just 46 days to go. In the new numbers, the 14 counties of Rift Valley are leading with a total of 5.3 million votes. Both Central and Nyanza, with 5 and 6 counties respectively, have 3.1 million votes. Nairobi County is the fourth with a little over 2.4 million votes, followed by the 4 counties of Western Kenya, which boast of 2.2 million votes, followed by the 6 counties of the coastal region, which have a total of 1.96 million votes. Ukambani region, which has 3 counties, boast of 1.7 million votes, followed by Upper Eastern, with 5 counties, which have 1.59 million votes, with the Northeastern region, with 3 counties, boasting of over 621,000 votes. In terms of county numbers, Nairobi is leading with 2.4 million votes. Kiambu follows with less than half of the numbers in Nairobi. Nakuru, Kakamega and Meru follow with 1.05 million, 844,000 and 722,000 votes respectively. Machakos follows with 687,000 votes. Bungoma, Mombasa, Kisii, Murang'a and Kisumu close the top 10 counties with the most registered voters. The March 9, 2018 handshake between ODM leader Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta, and the subsequent political fallout between the president and his number 2 has led to an increase in areas perceived to be swing areas ahead of the general election. Such counties include Turkana, which voted overwhelmingly for ODM leader Raila Odinga in the last election. Trans Nzoia County is also another area where President Uhuru Kenyatta got most votes in 2017. Others include Garissa, where the Jubilee ticket got a huge chunk of votes, also seem to be split on this election if the recent developments on the political scene had anything to go by. The cleaned-up register has a total of 22.10 million votes, 10,443 from the diaspora count, and 7,483 at the prisons. This comes as the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, the IBC, has invited all the 4 presidential candidates for a consultative meeting next week. The meeting will measure on the printed register of voters, election results path and harmonization of campaign schedules for presidential candidates. Issues to do with the abolishment of the manual register are also expected to feature highly after human rights bodies sued the IBC over the same.
And moving on, Siaya Senator James Orengo today accused the Kenya Kwanza Alliance members of doing nothing to empower women during their stay in the high echelons of the government. Orengo, who was addressing this year's International Widows' Day celebration held at the Siaya Institute of Technology grounds, lamented that senior Kenya Kwanza Alliance officials, led by Deputy President William Ruto, have been shouting themselves hoarse, promising women top positions, while their records spoke opposite. Senator Orengo, who is vying for the Siaya gubernatorial seat in the forthcoming general election, said it is not enough to preach the bottom-up policy, while the proponents knew well that they were hoodwinking the ordinary citizens.
They are our competitors who are talking about bottoms up. The only person who that catchword refers to is the Deputy President. He is the one that slogan refers to. And he knows from bottom to up how he has achieved it. But I'm afraid that the Deputy President, when we are trying to implement the agenda of uplifting the lives of the people in the country through a program like the Women Enterprise Fund, like the National Government Affirmative Fund, we want to know from them what they did while they were in government to make sure that these funds get more money from national revenue, or that these funds had a more extended reach. They did nothing. They did nothing. So I challenge them that this their policy of bottoms up is up for the leaders, but down for the ordinary people. Because the Lord Almighty will judge you not according to what you do when you get there, but what you do when you are here living on earth. So we should ask Ruto and his team, what did they do while they were in government to implement that policy? And the answer is that they did nothing. The charter have been presented, I've said in Luo, that is a charter, but we want to enact it as a law. Part of the law of Siaya in the next county assembly will be the women's charter. And I've challenged my friend Utienda Molo and Tandi Meli and Christine Mbaka. The first duty when they are elected into the National Assembly is to turn this charter into a national statute. Secondly,
elsewhere, an activist has filed a petition before the Judicial Service Commission seeking the removal of High Court Judge Justice Anthony Mrima. Frederick Bikireri wants the judge removed on grounds of, among other things, gross misconduct and incompetence.
Other matters cited in the petition by the activist include bias, corruptive practices, non-observance and adherence to the rule of law and public interest principles, partiality, breach of Chapter 6 of the Constitution and breach of judicial service regulations. The activist, through lawyer Dunstan Omari, cites a judgment Justice Mrima made in the High Court in May this year to the effect that the National Police Service, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, the Kenya National Commission on Human Rights, the Kenya Revenue Authority, the Commission on Administration of Justice, and the Anti-Counterfeit Agency or any other entity mandated with criminal investigation roles cannot draft, sign or present any charge sheet in any criminal prosecution.
The judgment of the Court of Appeal now returns the situation in the criminal justice system as the law provides, as it was before Justice Mrima's decision that caused chaos.
In Judge Mrima's judgment, the drafting, signing and presenting charge sheets was limited to the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. He says his determination has made the already existing difference between the institutions such as the DCI and DPP even worse.
On this judgment that it is the DPP who has the power to charge. And therefore, now we are likely to see normalcy in the criminal justice system where the police will implement Section 137 of the Criminal Procedure Code that gives the police the infrastructure, the mechanisms on how to draft a charge sheet.
The lawyers claim that the ruling has occasioned the delay of numerous criminal cases and affected the entirety of the criminal justice system and as a result compromised on national security. The activist believes that this petition against the judge is strengthened by numerous other petitions that have been lodged against Justice Mrima at the Judicial Service Commission seeking his removal from office.
A monumental task. It has taken us quite a lot of time to fight for the rule of law to proceed and to prevail, and the court has given those directions. The Court of Appeal has restored order in a criminal justice system that was disrupted.
He says the judge, this is not the first time Justice Mrima is finding himself in hot soup, as in December of last year, he faced another ouster after a petitioner filed a suit at the Judicial Service Commission seeking the removal of Justice Mrima as a High Court judge on grounds of gross incompetence.
The DPP in his bulletin said that he never asked for those orders. So the judge gave orders that were never prayed for.
The petition was submitted by Michael Mutembei Kibutha, who accused Justice Mrima of breaching the Judicial Code of Conduct and Ethics by sentencing the Directorate of Criminal Investigations Chief George Kinoti without affording him an audience to refute charges of withholding guns previously heard by businessman Jimmy Wanjigi.
And now Now to some business news. Stakeholders in the tea sector want the government to review a ban on direct sale of tea by tea factories. The government in 2020 prohibited factories from selling the commodity directly to the buyers and made it mandatory for all tea to go through the Mombasa Auction Agriculture. Cabinet Secretary said this is one of the loopholes and the tea factories directors used to misappropriate farmers' money, but a section of local farmers have said they have been benefiting from the higher sale made from buyers who go through direct to the factories. Mwangi Kaguma, the chairperson of Gathunguru Tea Factory, said the factory has benefited from direct sale of coffee made through the Fair Trade Africa, an organization that brings together growers, marketers and buyers.
We are requesting that the government relooks at the new tea regulation and allow the producer organization to sell their tea directly, and especially to the fair trade market, because when they have good relationship with the buyers, the producers are able to earn more and as well to earn more premium, which they will invest back in this country. They will invest back to the village, and this is the money that is felt by the producer who is at the village. He is going to, that producer will have water, that producer will have better school, that producer will have better access to health, and that producer will be able to get access to services that are supplemented by the government, but not enough provided by the government, because the premiums do come and assist in such social or economic or environmental projects.
Hii factory yetu ya Gathunguru, hii fair trade ilianzishwa 2016 na waleo hiyo ni miaka karibu 4-5 na tumepata takribani ya zaidi ya milioni 42, na kwenye hizo pesa tumefanya miradi mingi ya kusaidia wakulima wetu, wananchi wa area hii, kama miradi ya maji kutoka kwa msitu kule ya Badeas.
And moving on, the National Bar Owners Association has come out to condemn the move by the Kenya Revenue Authority, KRA, to close Keroche breweries over alleged unpaid taxes. KRA reportedly shut down the operations of Keroche breweries after it allegedly failed to remit about 22.7 billion Kenya shilling tax bill and failed to pay duty after the taxman lifted the blockage on the plant in March. The Naivasha-based company has now threatened to lay off over 400 staff members if its distribution channel is not reopened by the government. Speaking to the media in Nakuru, the bar owners led by Batila CEO Boniface Gashoka claimed that the move is politically motivated and that is aimed at pushing its founder Tabitha Karanja for choosing to associate with Kenya Kwanza coalition. Gashoka alleged that the politics has been injected into the business and is termed as unfortunate, and that such move had been overtaken by time.
Tafadhali, moyo wako wa huruma ukuingie na Keroche aweze kupewa nafasi ya kurenegotiate those agreements. Na kile ambacho chenye tumeomba ni ya kwamba tumeona jana wafanyikazi 400 wameenda nyumbani. Distributors na sisi tunahesabu ya kwamba tutafuta wafanyikazi 14,000 kwa sababu ya kumuondoa. Ile declaration tumemake leo ni ya kwamba sisi kama bar owners, watoto wetu, wafanyikazi, distributors, irrespective ya mtu ambaye tutasupport kiti ya president, whether ni Wajakoyo ama ni Raila ama ni Ruto.
Kama chairman wa bar owners, kuna request moja tu ningetaka kufanya. Nige request kitu moja, serikali ingefanya. KRA iko na managers wengi sana. Kama Keroche ameshindwa kurani factory, kwa nini hamwezi kuleta managers warani Keroche aweze kulipa ile deni? That's my only request. Mr. President and the Commissioner, tafuteni managers badala ya kufuga hii factory. Yeye na KRA warani ile kitu pamoja. Alafu ile deni ikilipika, wakilipa waachie factory yeye mwenyewe, sababu sio Tafidha anatabika. Tafidha ako na pesa. Wale wafanyikazi, distributors, na wale watu dependents, I only request for that one.
Now let's get sporty. A total of 34 drivers will be battling in this year's edition of the WRC Safari Rally that will kick off on Friday to Sunday this week in Naivasha. President Uhuru Kenyatta flagged off the World Rally Championship WRC today from the Kenyatta International Convention Center, KICC, Nairobi, marking the official start of the race. Our very own Davis Mberia has more on that particular story.
A battle of supremacy on wheels is expected to be witnessed in Naivasha for the 3 days when the WRC Safari Rally kicks off on Friday. President Uhuru Kenyatta, accompanied with Sports CS Amina Mohamed and Kenya Motorsport Federation Phineas Kimathi, flagged off the rally today from Kenyatta International Convention Center in Nairobi County, marking the official start of the race.
This year, we are taking a notch higher by ensuring that we take greater care of our planet by mitigating the negative impact on the environment. We are supporting the planting of 7 million trees across counties together with WRC, and this is part of the initiative to offset the carbon emissions.
Since the WRC returned to Kenya last June, after a break of almost 20 years, the sport has ushered in an exciting and new sustainable era with the introduction of the hybrid-based Rally 1, and we are delighted to showcase these new regulations on this truly iconic event known through the world.
But this year, we actually have hybrid cars that are participating in the rally. So we are keeping the promise to ensure that the focus that Kenya has on sustainability continues to grow and continues to have the impact that it's intended to have.
Indeed, the Safari Rally is one of the toughest rallies in the World Rally Championship Series, with a remarkable course that takes drivers into Kenya's undulated wild and in close view of our diverse wildlife. The Safari Rally has inspired many generations of Kenyans to dream of achieving unparalleled excellence, and it is an event that unifies Kenyans of all walks of life through our shared love of excellence, determination, and triumph against all odds.
Among Kenyan drivers who will feature in the rally are 4 Kenyan FIA rally stars: Makrai Kimathi, Amza Anwar, Jeremiah Wahome, and Maxine Wahome will feature in the new Ford Fiesta Rally 3 cars.
This year's safari is a bit technical. The stages are long, very technical stages, and the idea in this year's safari is to keep it as clean as possible. It's become a speed event, but you also have to be very cautious where the rough is. The organizers have done a brilliant job. The stages are really good, but it's a very, very technical rally, and I'm sure that it's going to be a good weekend. We've prepared very well for this weekend, so let's hope for the best.
Basically, it's, you know, in motorsport, it's normally 80% is preparation and 20% is the actual driving. So a lot of preparation has been done to the car and to the routes that we have done, the preparation notes, we call them pace notes. And then we have also, psychologically, we also prepared and set, we are looking forward to this.
The Kenyan drivers will be aiming to outshine foreign drivers, including the defending champion French megastars Sébastien Ogier and Sébastien Loeb, who are gracing the iconic Kenya fixture for the second time.
It's very, very difficult competing with the WRC drivers because the cars that they're using, the equipment that they're using is totally different than the WRC2 class, where we're using a different class of rally car. So in my personal opinion is there is never a Kenyan driver, or rather an African driver, that can actually compete the WRC boys because of the cars that they are driving, the preparation that they have, and also the class of cars they are driving. Today, if you probably put a Kenyan driver or an African driver in one of the WRC cars, that is when we can say or gauge at what pace they are, because that becomes a level playing field.
The event has prided itself as being one of the WRC jewel in the crown events given its difficulty to win and its unique stages. The Safari Rally was a mainstay on the WRC calendar from 1973 to 2002 before returning last year after a 19-year hiatus. Well, among the 34 drivers will be featuring in the 6th round of the WRC Circuit Safari Rally, Kenya will be represented by 15 drivers who will be going out to impress from a lesson learned in the 2021 rally. Reporting for Ebro TV Sports from KICC Nairobi, my name is Davis Mberia.
And that story by Davis Mberia marks the end of our bulletin tonight. Many thanks for keeping me company. A special thanks to my co-anchor Joyce Werimo and to everyone who made this particular bulletin a success. Many thanks. Have a beautiful and a blessed night. My name is Winnie. Maganga.